All right. I'm just going to let it get nice and warm in here. Nice and toasty. Here in Jacksonville, Florida. We got another, again, I feel like for the last special edition, we had the band next door here, and they're there again.
And this is very weird because it's been 2.5 months since we did a special edition.
It's not like, it's not a coincidence.
They're
obviously tracking when we do the special editions, and maybe they think they're doing good and they're providing background music for us. Maybe they think they're doing a good thing.
We'll see what tunes they break out for the karaoke contest later, and we will decide after that.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Edman, welcome back for a special edition night.
It's good to be here, and we have someone in the fabled third chair, don't we?
That's always exciting, isn't it?
Who is it, though?
It is the same lady that was there at our last special edition around July 4th for our America-ish edition.
We invited somebody back?
We invited someone back,
That's rare.
Let's welcome Rebecca back to the studio.
Hi.
Yay. Wow.
Did you like
that? That sound effect turned up a little high.
She deserved it, though. She deserved it. And especially for this special edition tonight. I see, Ed, you wore your best tuxedo. You put on some aqua velva. I can smell it from over
black
here.
Shirt.
Yeah, and look at Rebecca. It looks very nice as well. We want to thank Rebecca especially today because she just got off a long red-eye flight, and she's going to do the show with us. Well, maybe it wasn't a red-eye, but, she did fly and travel all day. It's the pink eye. Yeah, those people on the flights are taking their shoes off all the time. Now, I see those pictures. Disgusting, you animals. Well, anyways, welcome back, guys. We are doing this special edition for you on Tuesday. Just this past Sunday was the Emmys. So I thought that we'd discuss what went down on television's biggest night out there.
Now, did you watch the Emmys?
I did not.
Rebecca, did you watch the Emmys?
A little tiny bit. Yes.
I didn't watch the Emmys either.
Wow.
So this should be a great show.
Honestly, guys, it's going to take about 5 minutes, so just hold tight.
So this is Discourse in America Today. 3 people who have not watched the Emmys and probably don't even care about it doing a show dedicated to the Emmys.
Well, here's the thing. Again, it happened on a Sunday night, and I'm booked during Sundays now with football season, so I just my mind was on the pigskin. I wasn't thinking about the trophies, the beautiful ladies, as they like to call them.
I don't think that was the point I was making, though.
The point you were making was people don't know what the hell they're talking about anymore in this country. I get it.
But that's okay because we have a contingency plan.
Yes.
So even though we didn't see the Emmys, we have gathered all the news about the Emmys in one place for you. So you don't have to go to like People magazine and see that Lopez wore her dress backwards.
Unless you want to see if Blackwell's he's not around anymore, is he? Do they still call it the Blackwell
best
list? And worst dressed?
Yeah. I don't know. But see, now you get all your information and rumors in one single source, and you're going to get live reactions because I believe that Terry has prepared some clips for us to watch, and you will hear us now reacting to the news as we give you the news.
I mean, yes, sort of. We did record those clips. If you want to edit them in after, if you want to watch them as we go, we can play them as well.
And we all have this great thing in common, that neither us or the listeners have watched the Emmys.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? Well, some of them may have. Well, anyways, folks, like I said, that did happen Sunday night. That's the 71st Primetime Emmy Awards. They were held there at the Microsoft Theater in L.A., California.
Well, everyone knows that's the place to be for...
Yeah, it was.
Now, wait, what did the Emmys celebrate again?
That's the best in television, Primetime Emmy
Awards. So this is television.
This is television this time. You ever thought about getting an EGOT, Edman? No,
what's an EGOT? Is that the actual award?
That would be if you won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. That's the a 4-bagger there.
An EGO, maybe.
Oh, well, it could be either, but I mean, I don't EGOT one, so I think it would be kind of fun. Yeah, see what I did there? Anyways, this was the 4th time overall, and the first time since 2003 that the Emmy Awards went without a host. Edman, we did that Oscars special edition with Katie, and this past year, the Oscars went without a host as well. Maybe these shows think this is the way to go. Don't bank everything on one host
Well,
try to spread it amongst
they're saving
everyone.
a lot of money. Plus, they don't have to go through the trouble of hiring and then firing the person
because
when
of
they find out they
horrible
said something
tweets.
terrible.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Well, anyways, it also happened back in 1998, as I mentioned before, 2003, and 1975. Now, this one was broadcast on Fox on Sunday night, watched by only 6.9 million viewers. It was the lowest rated Emmy broadcast in history. A 32% drop since last year. Now, I wanted to get you two's thoughts on why. I feel like I was just in my cousin Vinny there for a second. Yeah, you two Utes, but I meant to say you two's views.
You're using your hands like an Italian.
I
There's a
wanna-
small studio. He's flapping his wings all over the place,
Is the
man.
reason why because people don't have
It's not cramped
TV
enough in here already.
People don't have TV anymore, but a lot of the shows that won were streaming service shows.
Well, that's
so
the
why,
thing. Are they tracking online viewers, though?
Well, of course they are.
Or are these just Nielsen ratings? So wait, you're telling me that with online viewers, they still only hit, what was it, 6.5 million?
6.9 million. It's
6.9
the
million?
lowest in history by quite a bit, actually.
Well, maybe society is advancing.
I mean, the award shows can be fun. Like I watch the Oscars. I do enjoy the Oscars. I enjoy the Emmys too. But I just again,
But who
I
watches
wasn't-
TV?
Right, that's what I mean. But a lot of the shows that were up for awards and won awards were on streaming-based services that everybody watches.
Right.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the award ceremony. They want to watch the show.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Yeah, I
there's
get
probably other shows up against the Emmys that they're watching instead.
I get it.
I wonder if those shows win awards.
Rebecca, did you think this was more of a cause of people not actually having cable, like they cut the wire, or was it just because people had other things going on?
I think it's a combination. I definitely think that you can easily watch the highlights, get the clips and not spend hours of your Sunday night watching an award ceremony. But also, I read that because the Oscars didn't have a host and it saw a bump in ratings, that with the Emmys, that was contributory for it, and they thought, oh well, maybe we're going to get a bump if we don't have a host. But a host is a draw, and a host is what keeps the show lively and going and moving.
Oh,
so if
who
you
are
don't
you-
have that,
Who are you telling? I get it. I get it. How
Right.
news freaks? Am I right or
Oh
what?
yeah, this show would
Super
be
important
nothing
job.
without the hosts.
yeah,
I mean, it really would be nothing. There'd be nobody here.
There'd be nobody listening. It'd just be static and nothing going on. But anyways, I think that was very interesting and maybe very telling, because I always thought more people nowadays, especially with a lot of younger people streaming on YouTube and Netflix and Amazon, what have you, that TV was way more popular than movies nowadays. But apparently that is not the case. Or maybe it's just they had other
I mean,
things
maybe
going
people
on.
just don't watch the Emmys, man.
Okay, let's scrap this show.
Man, I was like my finger was hanging over the delete button. I thought you were serious.
No, Ed, man. Thank God you did
I was
it.
gonna
We would
start all
we would
over
have had to
again.
record that riveting 8 minutes of content
I was like, well, it's a
over.
special edition. Maybe he doesn't care.
Yes.
You know?
Well, anyways, Ed. Now I don't know how you want to play this. Do you want to actually watch the clips?
Maybe
with the
he
viewers?
realized that spending 8 minutes downing the award show that people have tuned into the podcast to listen to was a bad idea.
Hey, listen, Ed. I don't make up these numbers. That these were actual numbers from the night. I love the Emmys. I love the award shows. However, the facts are the facts.
The facts are the facts.
Facts, not feelings, right, Ed, man? Isn't that what they say?
That's what they
Isn't
say.
that what they say? In a very newsworthy day here in U.S. history. However, we're only talking Emmys today. So anyways, Ed, I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to watch the YouTube clips I set up, or you just want to edit those in after?
Well, I'd like to see them.
You would?
Yeah.
Do you have them already queued up?
I have 3 queued up.
Okay, let's do it. Let's watch that first clip that we're going to start the show off with today.
Okay. And this first clip. God, the computer. That's perfect.
Edman's going to have to edit this in. Oh, no. Yeah, he's going to have to edit it in after.
Why? The computer was working
Yeah.
all day,
Uh-huh.
the entire day.
Yeah.
And even just before the show.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, the second I hit the button on the show, it stops working. Audio renderer error. Please restart your computer.
And we can't do
Wow.
that now because now we're in full swing in the show. So we've got to just edit them in after.
We're already rolling. Maybe if you know what the clip was going to be, perhaps you could act out the scene, and then maybe you'll win a nice award later. You're on your way to your EGOT there.
Well, yes, indeed, Ed. That was big winner on the night. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She won all 3 awards she was up for the wildly popular Amazon Prime show Fleabag. Now, I know we have the right person in studio for this because a month or so ago, a Facebook post came along my timeline, and Rebecca was raving about this show.
I was.
So you are a fan of Fleabag.
I am. I binge watched it.
Yeah, and you know what?
Entirety.
It's pretty easy to do because it was 2 seasons long, but it's only 12 episodes. 6 episodes in season 1 and 6 in season 2.
I'm laughing because I can't watch it without restarting the computer. But I can't restart the computer because that's how we're recording the damn show that we're talking about right now.
Correct, Edman.
So we are literally going to do this show
Yep.
without actually watching
Yes.
anything that we're talking about.
Rebecca and I have watched some
This
things.
is a
You
shit
haven't.
show.
Well, would you like to just cancel
This
the whole
is
thing?
this is a parody of a parody.
It's not really. We did our homework, Edman.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking. We're ready. We've got
I don't
This,
know.
what's happening right now, could be on a sitcom.
Good. What? If Frasier had
know
a
what it would be.
meltdown on his radio show? By the way, Frasier won quite its bit of Emmys back in the day as well, didn't it?
Let's just talk about past shows that we have seen.
Man, how about that Friends 25th anniversary?
Oh my God!
just
Did you
happened?
see Joe on Facts of Life? She like hit someone in the face.
Well, you know, Facts of Life is back on Netflix now too, Edman. So
No,
it's
that's not
pretty
true.
Oh,
Is
it
that
is
true?
true.
That's
It's
not
absolutely true.
Who's on there?
The real? It's
Is
a new.
Mrs.
It's
Garrett
an
on
updated
there?
one. It's a new updated one.
Oh, no.
Anyways,
They're all like 60.
let's talk about Fleabag some more. And can you bring up our thing so I make
I don't
sure
know.
that-
Can I?
I want to make sure that we're not totally talking into the abyss here. Okay, good. Well, anyways, Fleabag, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's a show that was adapted from Phoebe Waller-Bridge's one-woman play back in 2013 of the same name. She plays a young woman living in London named, you guessed it, Fleabag. Great name for, I would name my daughter Fleabag. That puts her in her place where she's going to be very humble the whole time she's growing up, right? Well, this
Wait,
young,
is that her legal name?
this young lady Fleabag. I mean, we never really. Rebecca, you might know this more than me. Do we ever get to the bottom of why her name's Fleabag? That's the only name they ever give her in the show.
No, I don't think that they got to the bottom of
Yeah,
it.
that's the only name you ever know her by.
All right, Rebecca, you watch the show?
Yeah.
What's so great
I
about the
did.
show? What do you like about it?
Oh, it's like talking to your best girlfriend about the dirtiest, craziest things.
She's
ever.
a sex addict, no doubt, in the show. She's also kind of angry. She's also kind of confused about things in life.
And it's great. If you've ever watched The Office or Parks and Rec, they break the fourth wall, and she talks directly to you. So you're watching, and then she like gives you the lowdown, like, this is not really happening. I'm going to bone him later.
Exactly.
And, you're getting like the inside scoop where the other characters don't know what's going on.
Big part of this show
It's
is
super
her
great.
breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
And she's the only one that does it.
Right. Yeah.
so
that's
it's
what's
no
great.
other character does. It's just her talking to you. So you do feel like that gives it kind of the charm.
So she's
of
like
the show.
Deadpool.
Yes.
There you
Okay,
go,
that makes
Ed.
sense.
We'll put it in comic sense for you. I think it does give it its charm, makes the audience root for this young lady who, like we said, a little bit of a train wreck in a bunch of ways. But like I mentioned before, only 12 episodes in 2 seasons, 6 each. They both have a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're going for quality.
Yeah, I thought
quantity.
2 things were great. As of like literally an hour ago, something came across my news feed here that Amazon and her had just completed talks for a $20 million deal per year.
Oh my goodness.
So she's banking. She banked on this. I mean,
Wow.
clearly they want her to stick around. The season 3 is going to be coming, obviously.
Is she single?
Yeah, I know.
And her one woman show is back.
Going to be a revival.
And they just had it in New York when I was just there a couple days ago. And it's going to be in Atlanta in November. So you can actually see the one woman show
Very
that's based
cool.
off of
I
this.
sense a field trip coming, just like the Pie Town. We got a lot of places to visit. But anyways, and for those of you who did not get that reference, that was our July 4th special edition about America, if you want to go back and listen to that one. Well, this was kind of cool, I thought. The show actually came to be when a friend of Phoebe Waller-Bridge's challenged her to create a 10-minute sketch for a stand-up storytelling night just out at a local maybe a pub or an improv group or something there, and that's where Fleabag was born. I guess everyone I talk to when they talk about the show only talks about a hot priest that's in season 2.
Yes.
He's quite the heartthrob, but he's a priest, and she falls for him. I guess this Fleabag does. But anyways, like I said, she won all 3 awards she was up for, which was Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series, Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, and overall Outstanding Comedy Series. Her director also won for Outstanding Directing, so that was a great night for Miss Waller-Bridges and the whole Fleabag family, I would say, right?
Yeah, Terry, when are you and I going to get together and do the Laurel and Hardy thing?
Oh yeah, we were thinking
So it's been a little while since there's been a comedy duo, and I think the time has come for a comedy duo in the Odd Couple vein, or the Laurel and Hardy. Who's the other one? Stan and Ollie.
That would be the same 2 people. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the time is ripe for this kind of
who's
vaudevillian
the funny
comedy
ones,
to come back.
who's on first?
Yeah, Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lou and
yeah, man, we're gonna do it.
Abbott
And we're just gonna blow the. Well, it'd be more like a vaudevillian feel to it, probably, right?
No, why would we do that?
I don't know. I want the guy.
Vaudeville was like
I want
100 years ago.
I want the guy with the cane pulling you off stage when you mess up your
That
lines.
sounds terrible.
You see, he did it again.
It sounds worse than Fleabag Jones. What's the name of the show?
Fleabag Jones. It's called Fleabag, Ed Man. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But it did beat out.
Well, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It can't be bad.
It beat out some pretty stiff competition here. Listen to these shows that it beat out for best comedy series, outstanding comedy series, I guess is what they call it. Barry, which is on HBO. This is a dark comedy. Bill Hader won his 2nd straight outstanding actor for his role in this show. Have you seen this one, Rebecca?
I saw the pilot and
it?
the second one. I did like it. I just didn't stick with it.
Yep.
I think I got busy.
He plays a hitman that goes out to L.A. and wants to become an actor. He wants to leave the hitman life behind, and he takes a acting class taught by Henry Winkler, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his name, Harry Winkler. Henry Winkler. Hey, the Fonz.
Hey,
I remember that
hey,
show.
I wonder if I
Emmy
hit
at
this
some point.
computer if the audio renderer would work.
Well, let's not try it.
Wait a minute. The audio renderer, isn't that how it's recording us right now?
Yeah.
What if it's not getting anything?
I mean, I'm hoping.
No loss. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping
No
it's
great loss.
Do we want to take a pause and make sure?
Yeah, we should probably
All right,
do that.
we're going to be right back, folks.
Maybe we can coax Rebecca out of the fetal position. Unless you call on her, she's just like balled up on this.
We're going to take one quick break to see if we're recording, and then we're going to come back and let you know the rest of those series that Fleabag beat out.
All right. Fortunately or not, it did record what we've been talking about so far. And I took the liberty to turn on the AC. So I hope that background noise isn't too bad for everybody. But, it's hot here in the studio. It's muggy outside. And we're talking about the Emmys. So I figured that we turn on the AC a little bit and put us all in a jovial mood.
I've been in a jovial
for this
mood.
special edition.
Yeah, I've been very excited to talk about some of these shows, some of these.
I think what's happened was before the show.
Yeah.
So I know you guys got pizza.
Right.
And before the show,
think it put us in a nap mode?
No, exactly. I had a giant bean burrito thing.
Oh.
And they say beans, good for your heart.
Right.
And that might be true. I'm no, physician.
Uh-huh.
But I'm no scientist. But I think that it might be bad for the rest of your body. Because whenever I eat beans, I feel sluggish, feel sick. And also, they say the more you eat, the more you fart. I think that if it was good for you,
right,
you probably wouldn't fart.
Well, isn't it cleaning out your colon? It seems like that might. I don't know. I'm no doctor myself either. Clearly.
Well, I mean, when you eat old food, like late night Taco Bell, and it's been sitting out, and you eat that sour cream,
right?
And you want to go to the bathroom, they don't say, "Oh, it's cleaning you out."
I mean,
it's just making you sick.
I guess not.
And I think probably some far off day they'll find out that it's not really that good for you.
I gotta be honest. I gotta knock on something, but I think I have an ironclad digestive system because I've abused it so much through the years that really nothing bothers me, food or drink wise.
Yeah, I mean, yours is at the point where when you eat regular food, it's like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Man, I
Don't
ate
even
that
recognize
salad. I feel like hell.
Yeah.
It's all these vegetables are really screwing me up.
Okay, but it's cooler now.
Yeah, it feels
I'm
good.
hyped. Now we can watch the clips, presumably.
Maybe, yeah.
So now let's what's the next one? Let's
Well,
cue one up.
we're gonna continue where we left off of these comedy series that Fleabag beat out. Veep.
We're still on Fleabag.
Veep. Yeah, we're
We
still
played
on
the
her.
wipe and everything.
Well, because we needed to take a break, we wanted to make sure we were
Well, I guess
recording.
it's an Emmy show. We should probably watch it. I'll pull up the clip. I'll pull up the clip while we're
So
doing it.
Veep, another HBO show. That was in its last season. Political satire following fictional VP Selena Myers, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She has the most ever Emmys with 8. She's won 8, and Cloris Leachman won 8.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and Ed Asner has 7.
Wild.
So he's first for the gentleman.
Wild stuff.
Anyways, The Good Place on NBC. There was a fantasy comedy with Kirsten Bell and the timeless Ted Danson. Like, that guy just never goes away, does he? He's like, he had that show where he was a
You
doctor.
say that,
there.
but I feel like I haven't seen him in a very long
He's
time.
in everything. Every year it seems like he's in something. Well, he's in that now. Was he in CSI for like 10 years too? Guys all over the place. The Marvelous Miss Maisel on Prime. That's Rachel Brosnahan as a New York City housewife in the late 50s who finds a knack for stand-up, Ed, man. Kind of like us, huh?
Yeah, except, when are we going to do our stand-up?
We already did that. Bit.
Oh, that was done.
Russian Doll on Netflix. That's Natasha Lyonne. She plays a game developer who repeatedly dies and relives the same night over and over in a time loop.
As if in a video game.
Exactly.
Have extra men.
I heard this was a very good show,
Or
and I have
women in
not
this
caught it
case.
yet.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Extra
Man, see,
people.
that's why we
Extra
wanted
persons.
Rebecca. We needed Rebecca
binge
on this
watched
show.
that, too.
She binge watches stuff, and now she can tell us whether or not these are really good shows.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm going to
have-
watch this real quick.
Really hard and really painful. And but I'd like to say, just honestly from the bottom of my heart, that the reason that I do it is this. So it's made it all really worth it, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, so I'll...
You can continue in the background. They're just taking pictures of her out front, the Emmy thing. One
Yeah.
more show they beat out, and I am a fan of this one, Schitt's Creek. That's Eugene Levy and his son Daniel. They created this show about a wealthy family who loses it all and is forced to rebuild in a little town called Schitt's Creek. Catherine O'Hara and Annie Murphy also play in that. Great show. Funny family, really well written. What do you like that one, Rebecca?
I did not watch all of it, but what I did see, I did love.
Yeah.
The
and
name is great.
Yeah.
I
And
love that
actually, Annie Murphy, who plays the daughter, she won a Best Supporting Actress the other night for that role. Well, anyways, we were talking about that individual win for Waller-Bridges. Listen to some of these heavyweights she beat out on the ladies' side here. Christina Applegate for Netflix, Dead to Me, which is a great show. Very, very good. Rachel Brosnahan, who we mentioned before, Marvelous Miss Maisel. Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep. Natasha Lyonne for that Russian Doll, and Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek. Those are some pretty heavy-duty titans of comedy on the ladies' side, for sure.
Now, I noticed that when Phoebe Waller got up there, she said that, was that her name?
Phoebe Waller-Bridges,
Bridges.
yeah. Yep.
I saw that when she got up there, she said that writing is very hard.
Yeah.
But she does it for this, and then she holds up the Emmy.
Right.
Do you are you okay with that?
Well, I am okay with it. I think she was making a joke,
Yeah, she
first and
was.
foremost. But secondly, I think she...
But it was a joke based in truth.
This is one for the underdogs here, right? I like when the underdog goes out and gets it done. We're kind of an underdog podcast competing against those big heavyweights, Ed.
Yeah,
Man,
hopefully we'll get those Emmy numbers.
what if we win a podcasting award someday down the line?
I think in order to do that, we would have to create a podcasting award.
No. I think there's some out there that we can look into and
Really?
maybe pay somebody.
Maybe smallest podcast?
That's not true, guys.
Do they have the Razzies for podcasts?
That's not true, guys. Again, if you want to interact in any way, let us know what you thought of any of the shows or actors or actresses that we're talking about today. 904-300-2475. Hit us up on Twitter at NewsFreaksPod. Also Facebook, The News Freaks. And if you want to send us a email, mail at NewsFreaksPod.
Now, I love that you gave that info out, but should we be shilling ourselves on the special editions?
Why not?
Why not? If Phoebe does it, we can do it.
This is the reason I do this, Ed. I'm going to throw the whole clipboard against the wall. This is why I do this, for the feedback and the adulation of our fans.
If I won an Emmy, I would say, listen, I don't do this for the Emmy. And I wouldn't even show up.
Some people don't. Well, anyways, we talked.
So when we get the podcast award, it's just you, buddy.
Okay,
You're
I'll do
there
it.
and
I'll
get
go.
it.
I'll wear my best tuxedo and put on my aqua velva, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh no, I'll have to come along so we can do the bit.
Shtick. He
the
wants
duo.
to do this. He wants to do this bit, guys. So bad, so bad. Well, I talked about best outstanding actor in a comedy role. That was Bill Hader for the second straight year for Barry. I'm gonna have to check that show out. I guess I'm gonna have to make time. I'm gonna have to clear a whole week and just binge, as Rebecca does, all of these shows because I feel like I'm out of the loop on a lot of this stuff. Well, anyways, he beat out quite a good cast of characters here as well. Anthony Anderson for Blackish, which is a show I've always enjoyed. Don Cheadle for Showtime's Black Monday. That was also very good. Ted Danson for The Good Place. Michael Douglas for The Kominsky Method. That's on Netflix. I did see that. That was pretty decent. And Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek.
Michael Douglas is still...
He's still doing it, yeah.
goodness.
He's like 70-something now. But
You know
he's
what
still
he would
doing
be
it.
really good in? A reboot of the... not Ernest Goes to Camp. What's the... what's the one where the guy dies?
Bernie,
Weekend at Bernie's.
They're making a new Weekend at
Weekend at
Bernie's.
Bernie's.
They're making a new one.
With him?
No, I don't know who the guy is, but they're
Because
making a
he'd
new
be
one.
perfect.
He does all right in this show. He plays an acting teacher, actually, in this Kominsky Method, and his buddy is Alan Arkin, who has won his share of awards, Oscar. I know he has an Oscar or two, and a couple other awards as well.
Now they're remaking Weekend at Bernie's.
They
Is that
are.
going to be a movie or a TV show?
Movie.
And what do movies win? They win
Oscars. Remember? Do I think it's going to be up for an Oscar?
Do you think that maybe Weekend at Bernie's will win an Oscar?
I think if I had to bet on it, I would probably say not.
I would probably say that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's not an...
But we don't know.
I don't think the Academy is going to...
Who's like the greatest actor nowadays?
Who is the greatest actor nowadays? I don't know. I'd have to say...
Well, who won this year? Just say it's them.
Who did win the Oscar this year? Boy, we did that show, and I can't even remember. It wasn't Bradley Cooper. Rami Malek, I think, won for playing Freddie Mercury there. The story about Queen.
Could you imagine going from that role to playing the character of Lomax at Weekend at Bernie's?
I can't, Ed. I can't. You know what? Everybody's got to eat. I mean, I believe Cuba Gooding Jr., after he won his Oscar for Jerry Maguire years ago, I believe he did like 3 bombs in a row.
Hey, they convinced Joaquin Phoenix to be the Joker.
They did. But everybody's giving him rave reviews on that thing.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sure he
excited.
is.
Yeah,
Great.
I think it's going to be great. Know what was great, guys? I will tell you, I know this is an Emmy episode, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I saw that finally, and the acting in that was just unbelievably phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, you will see Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and probably Margot Robbie nominated for all the acting
Really?
awards. They were that good. The movie was, I thought it was great. Quentin Tarantino probably be up for director. I don't know if it's going to win it all, but I think it was very deserving from an acting standpoint. Yeah. Very, very well acted.
Think it's hard to make a movie or a TV show?
I think it's a challenge.
Rebecca, you would know about this, right?
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, it's
Really?
insanity. Yeah.
Yes.
Because, and not being in the industry, it seems to me like you could just put a camera on a tripod
It
and then like
seems that
film
way.
whatever.
It definitely seems that way. Otherwise, like our
Am I
dads would
underestimating
be.
the amount of work that goes into making a
I
movie?
think you are, Edmund. There's a lot that goes into it. You know how much goes into this little rinky-dink production.
You know what I think the problem is? When they make movies, they like plot out all the scenes
Right.
ahead of time, and then they go, okay, here's our filming schedule. And it's very stressful. I think if you were making a movie, you should just go, well, what's the first thing that happens in the movie? Shoot that. and then go, what's the next thing that happens, and then just shoot that.
You know
one.
what? There was a director that did that once, Ed. I think his name was Tommy Wiseau. He made The Room. I don't know if you've ever heard of that film.
I've heard it. It's supposed to be the worst movie ever made.
Yeah, it is, actually. I've seen it several times in
That or
theaters.
Plan 9 in Outer Space, which I have seen, and that, you know what? Plan 9 in Outer Space was considered widely the worst movie ever, and it was better than The Last Jedi.
I know, you still are standing by that, aren't you? Well, Ed, man, again, I was very happy to see Fleabag win as much as it did. Most awards on the night for, and like I said, good for the underdog. So yeah, Ed, man, Game of Thrones final season garnered the most nominations. I know you're going to have an opinion on
Now,
this.
Game of Thrones was definitely competing with The Last Jedi for worst thing ever put on. It's not celluloid anymore. Digital video.
It was nominated for 14 awards, and as you just heard in the clip there, it won. It won for Outstanding Drama Series.
What?
Yep, it did it. It did it, and I know you were going to be shocked.
This is obviously all shill BS.
It-
There's no way.
It actually was nominated 32 times if you also count last
It
weekend's
should be
Creative Arts Emmy.
nominated for a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But this, even the CGI in the last season was terrible. Everything went to pot on this. list.
Peter Dinklage also won his Emmy record 4th win for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama for his role as Tyrion. Is that how you pronounce it? Tyrion Lannister?
Tyrion
Lannister. Yeah, that's the most that anybody's ever won for one show. He won his 4th. I mean, he won.
Although he acted so differently in the last season, they really should have renamed his character. And same goes for most of the other characters.
Yeah, I'm sure. Again, Rebecca and you were big fans and would talk about it incessantly around me.
We
And
have
I
never
couldn't get in on it.
discussed
Well, you know this.
I do know
Game of
this.
Thrones.
Yeah, he knows this.
I do- he
That's
does
what
know
prompted
this.
me coming.
That's what
to
prompted her
begin with.
coming because we.
Wait, do we have a discussion on air
well,
about it?
no, we didn't. We
No.
were actually what we.
I only remember the discussions on air.
What we were
So
gonna
if we
do-
talked about this off air, it's out of my head.
Edman, what we were going to do, remember, we were going to
My
try
brain
to do,
doesn't record until it's actually recording.
We were going
on
to
the
try to do
computer as
another
well.
podcast, and we were going to talk about Chernobyl, but it was only a limited series.
Now that I remember.
That won as well. Outstanding limited series. It won an Emmy for HBO
Well, if we
this
brought
year.
her on for a Game of Thrones, why didn't we talk about Game of Thrones?
We didn't bring her on for Game of Thrones.
I thought that's what you
We
just
were
said.
supposed to.
Yeah, we were going to do a Game of Thrones show one time, but it
Did
just
not.
never happened. Yeah.
Right.
So we just threw her a bone and took her on the Emmy special edition?
We took her on the America Special Edition. America and Emmys. I mean, that's pretty decent, right?
I don't know. Did you like those experiences, Rebecca?
Yeah, it was great. The pie lady.
Yeah. We're going to talk
That,
about
you know
reviews.
what?
too,
That
still.
was really
Yeah.
funny.
Yep, we're still
that
gonna
was
talk to her.
hilarious.
Going back to you guys' favorite show, Game of Thrones here, it had, overall in the series run, 161 nominations, and it won 47 awards.
Wow.
Now, okay, so this is the Emmy show.
Yeah.
That's
This is
crazy.
about stuff that's on TV. The topic right now is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Let me ask
Yeah,
Rebecca.
sure.
Rebecca,
Absolutely.
what did you think? And I'm not going to tell you what I thought of it.
I think I already know.
What did you think
Whoa,
of
and
the
don't
last
keep us in
season
suspense.
of Game of Thrones?
I think the last season was it's over. We're done. We need to wrap this ish up.
Did you like it or
And,
not like it, though?
I was definitely disappointed in some of the stories, the way they ended.
Where would you guys
I was
put
not
it?
happy at the end.
I think I've asked you guys this. I know you guys were huge fans. Where would you put it in your all-time show rankings? Does it slip out of the top 3 or 5 or 10, or where does it land now because of your disappointment in the last
Well, if
season?
it was a 1-2 season show, it would be fairly, mid-pack. But because I was forced to watch this over an extended amount of time,
Right.
I am placing it probably next to last, very, very low to the bottom. It gave me some good times, but the amount of time that I spent, it was probably around season 3 or 4.
Okay.
Actually, I suspected this in the first episode. And I said to myself, this is like a soap opera. They probably have no idea where this is
How
going.
they can sustain it. too,
I
right?
thought.
Oh no,
I
they
bet
knew where
that-
it was going. That it's
And
based
then
on books.
the red wedding happens. And I'm like, okay, they
I'm
definitely
guessing that's
don't
a
know.
wedding where there's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, they definitely don't know what they're doing. But then it continued on and they got a new character. I said, okay, maybe they do know where they're going. But it turned out they didn't know where they were going.
Okay.
And so that's why I put it down so low.
He's
The
calling
writers, whoever
right?
created this thing, I don't know.
We've talked about the writers. They're going to take on the new task of the new Star Wars film.
I think you can make a movie by putting a camera on a tripod. How am I supposed to know the people involved in this huge endeavor?
This is true.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones is based on books.
Right, the Fire and Ice
So
series,
yes, there are writers, there's screenwriters,
Let
because
me
they're
ask you
taking
this.
the books and making them
source material.
Right.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I say they don't know where they're going. You say that they do because of the books. Let me ask
Right.
you a question. Have they finished with the books?
The last one, no, they had to finish it up.
So now, if they don't
but
have
that
an
was the
ending,
last.
But actually, didn't they say they're already going to have another series that will follow this?
a prequel.
Yes.
But if they
Yeah.
don't have
Prequel.
an ending,
Right.
is that not by definition that they don't know where they're going?
Well, the books, it was a
Because
series.
they made
was
it
like,
off the books.
It was like
but
Harry
the books are
Potter.
not complete.
Right. It's a series. So I don't know where they stopped, but the first I think 4 or 5 they were completed, and then they were rushing to try to get.
And especially with them taking on this monumental task of being the writers for the new Star Wars, you really can't gunk that up.
Right.
God,
That's what I was.
Why are you getting me started? Okay, so I've explained this before on the show. Okay, after the Game of Thrones, they have these two jackasses come on, and they talk about what I just watched. So instead of giving me some great insight behind the scenes, they just do a little recap of what I just looked at. I was like, this is the most useless thing. I was like, why would they throw these interns on at the end of the show to explain to me what I just watched? It turns out those are the damn writers. And not only did they destroy that series of Game of Thrones, but then I hear that the reason they destroyed it was to go destroy Star Wars, which is already destroyed.
Ed, tell us how you really feel.
I'm so mad.
We don't want you to hold back on this show, Ed.
All right, let's
that's
keep
the thing.
going.
Okay, so anyways, I mean, I think most fans are kind of like you. They may have been a little let down by that last season. However, I think they're still going to consider it one of the top shows in their history of TV watching.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know because I never saw any of it, but I will watch it now that I can binge it all the way through, obviously.
Right.
So anyways, like I talked about before, outstanding limited series, that went to HBO's Chernobyl, which again, everybody said was fantastic. I didn't get to see it, but I will. Escape at Dannemora was another candidate. That was a Showtime show. Fosse Verdon on FX. Sharp Objects on HBO. That was a Gillian, what the heck's her name? The girl that wrote Gone Girl. Gillian Flynn. That's a Gillian Flynn book. And then When They See Us, the Netflix special, the limited edition series that we will be talking about shortly. Outstanding TV movie. That went to, this was kind of an interesting pick, I thought. The Netflix movie Bandersnatch. It was the Black Mirror movie where you could pick and kind of choose your own adventure. You kind of played an active role in what the character did next.
Right.
It was pretty wild.
That sounds
I
interesting.
enjoyed it. You know, they start you off, I think the very first thing you have to pick is which box of cereal the kid's going to have.
Yeah.
Then what song he's going to play in his headphones. And then it gets
Wait, it's sounding less interesting.
It gets progressively more, the decisions get progressively more, like, are you going to jump off this building or is somebody else going to jump? And you play an active role in how this movie ends up. So it is very interesting.
So the choices become very life impacting.
Absolutely.
As you go. Oh, that's neat.
Very impacting to the story and the plot of the movie.
Now, how do you select?
You have your controller with you, and you just pick right. They usually give you two choices.
Is it
So-
compatible with the Xbox One?
Anywhere you can watch Netflix on. Okay. Yeah. It's very interesting. And that won Best Outstanding TV Movie. It beat out Brexit, which was on HBO. Deadwood the Movie, which was on HBO, which I really was interested in seeing. King Lear, which is over there on Prime. And then My Dinner with Harvey on HBO. That was Hervé Villachez, the guy that Deplane, right?
Oh, yeah.
See,
right,
on Dynasty.
yeah.
Guess who played him in that movie?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, of course.
They don't have another dwarf they can go to?
I don't know, but his role was very much.
This guy is so overworked.
Was very much lauded. You know what's funny? I heard him on a podcast.
We need somebody under 3 feet. They're like, well, let's get Peter on the phone.
He was doing on a podcast, another podcast that we had talked about, the Ron Burgundy podcast, right? And he was on there reading select poems. But on the show, Ron Burgundy had just gotten a new sound machine, much like we have here, and he kept playing over Peter Dinklage, trying to recite some of these classic poems in history.
That's pretty funny.
And it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
Would have spiced up the ending of Game of Thrones. Hey, how about that King Lear? What a franchise, huh?
Man, they
King
just
Lear.
they riding that till the wheels
You
fall
think
off.
James Bond has got something going? King Lear is just...
Real quick, we'll get into a few more of these awards and then we'll move on. Outstanding Variety Talk Series that went to last week tonight with John Oliver. He's over there on HBO, a very funny show. This was well, I'll do this one first because the other one is just nonsense. Outstanding Competition Program. This is back-to-back years for RuPaul's Drag Race. Did it again, VH1 show. Beat out The Amazing Race, American Ninja Warrior, Top Chef, The Voice, and nailed it, a Netflix baking competition. So RuPaul did it 2 years in a row. Now here's the one that really got me. Outstanding Variety Sketch Series. SNL won it. Again, for like however many times, but
Are there a lot of sketch
SNL
series?
stunk. I'll tell you what was nominated.
Really?
Who is America? That was on Showtime. That was Sacha Baron Cohen. That was absolutely hilarious.
He's a funny guy. I've never seen that.
I Love You, America was on Hulu. That was Sarah Silverman. She did a great job with that show. Drunk History on Comedy Central, where people get drunk and tell stories from history. Very funny. Documentary Now, which is on IFC, kind of like they do fake documentaries based on real life things. And At Home with Amy Sedaris. Any of these five were better than last year's SNL.
Really?
Really. It was a crime that SNL won this
I don't
year.
know. You know, I saw a lot of those Trump sketches. They were knocking them out of the park, right?
I don't know if they were knocking him out of the park. I mean, Alec Baldwin kind of rode that thing for all it was worth, too, I think. I don't think he's going to come back and do it again this year. But we talked about this, Edman.
They were terrible.
Phoebe
They were awful.
Waller-Bridges is going to be opening up the show, SNL, next weekend. No, I'm sorry, not next weekend, the weekend after, because I believe next weekend is Billie Eilish and, boy, I forget who was first. It might have been Phoebe Waller-Bridges, but we talked about it last week's show. I just can't remember. So anyways, that's some kind of ancillary awards. Now we're going to get into some more acting awards on the
Acting.
supporting side.
Do you know who that was? Acting. John Lovitz.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This is for the men that we know as the Exonerated Five. It's for Raymond, Yusuf, Antron, Kevin, and King Corey Wise. Thank you so much. It's an honor. It's a blessing.
That speech we just heard there, that was from 21-year-old Jarrell Jerome. He actually made history with his win for accepting the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series or Movie for his role as Corey Wise on the Netflix limited series When They See Us. It was a 4-part drama that explored the lives and families of the 5 wrongfully convicted, since exonerated suspects in the 1989 Central Park jogger rape case.
Central Park, the Central Park 5.
Correct.
Now, I thought it turned out that they actually did do it.
It did not.
They didn't do it.
They were in jail for quite a while, though. In 2001, Matthias Reyes, who was a convicted murderer and serial rapist, he actually confessed, and the 5 men's convictions were vacated in 2002.
Okay.
So they were put away for this for quite a long time.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately. But he's 21-year-old.
Did they get
actor.
compensation for that?
They did.
Okay.
They did get compensation. I believe the settlement with the city, and don't quote me on this, I believe it was somewhere in the $3 to $3.5 million range with the city of New York, with New York City. I don't know. Rebecca, do you know this or no? Do you know how much it actually was?
Oh, I don't know how much it was. I do know that it was years and years in prison for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as much money as the Amazon Fleabag Millionaire show.
Oh, she's going to get it now. 21-year-old Jarrell Jerome, he became the first Afro-Latino and first Dominican to win an acting Emmy of any sort at the
And
end.
it's checking off a lot of boxes there.
Absolutely, and he was not the only one to make history last night, or Sunday night, I should say. Billy Porter became the first openly gay black man to be nominated and also win lead acting category. He won Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for his role as Pray Tell on the FX drama Pose. Ed, you must be a big Pose fan, right?
I have not seen that yet.
No, I have not either. On the ladies' side, there was a bit of an upset.
But I'll watch it now that I know that dude is
Yeah.
openly gay.
Yeah, Billy. In fact, Billy Porter likes to wear some very flamboyant dresses to these award shows. I don't know what he wore last night or Sunday night, but I know that he tends to wear some pretty, no newsworthy, buzzworthy kind of outfits. We just got Rebecca to check this up for us. It actually settled. They settled with the city and with the state of New York in 2014. This is the Central Park 5 there for $41 million.
She's so good
for the whole thing. I know. Why did I think 3.6? That must have been the civil suit against the city that I saw, because 41 million is clearly a lot more change there. But hey, listen, if you go away, there were 16-year-old kids when this happened, and we saw a bit of an interview on a YouTube clip from one of the kids, actually the kid that Jerome played.
Yeah.
Corey Wise, we were looking at it, and he looked scared out of his mind in that interview room.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, it was probably one of those things where the DA and the prosecutors here, in this case, they probably knew that they were overstepping their boundaries a little bit going after these guys. But
I don't know anything about the case.
And now you will, because now you want to look it up. On the ladies' side, Sunday night, Jodie Comer, she pulled off a minor upset in the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. She won for her role as assassin Oksana Estancora in Killing Eve.
Oksana?
That show is actually very fun. I've seen the first season, have not seen the second season yet. But she beat out some heavyweights, too.
And do you know who the writer of that show is?
Oh, boy.
We've been talking about her all night.
We have. All night.
Is that Phoebe?
Phoebe
lady?
Waller-Bridges
Yeah.
writes
Yeah.
that, too?
Yes, sir.
Unreal. That girl,
She's prolific.
She's doing it.
She's written a few things.
Well,
And she can certainly wear an Emmy dress.
yeah, she looks great. Jamie Comer beat out Amelia Clark from
Maybe
Game
not
of
as
Thrones.
good as that openly gay dude, though.
No,
I haven't
not-
seen him yet.
Viola Davis, Laura Linney, Robin Wright, Mandy Moore, and her co-star Sandra Oh. She beat out all of those actresses who are
You
all
know you're good when you
very,
beat
very
out
tough.
Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore actually became quite the nice little actress there. She plays in This Is Us, and she's been nominated, I think, almost every year of the show. And I think that show's been, 4 or 5 years now.
You know what I've been wanting to see for a long time, and I have not. What movie? Walk With Me.
Walk With Me, Ed. That's like 20 years ago.
Man, I'm
25, 30?
I'm trying to see everything ever created,
Ugh.
and I'm
We'll
still
take you
like
down
in
to
the
Blockbuster.
I'm still in like the 1930s.
I still have my Blockbuster card. We'll get you one.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, there's no difference. They're like every other video store. I hated Blockbuster.
Yeah, but listen, what did you like better? I worked for Video World at one point, and there was also Hollywood Video.
Actually, you know what? There was one thing Blockbuster did that was great. So
they let you loiter as a young kid.
Yeah, I got
Me and my
this-
friends would just walk around there trying to pick up chicks and
Oh my
rent
goodness.
movies. Neither of which worked.
Two
The movies
birds
we
with one
wanted were
stone.
always out, and the girls would always run away with their Twizzlers and popcorn.
I got a movie or video game or something like that, right? Didn't return it. Just too lazy, right? Did not return it. And then it was so long that I didn't return it that they sent me a thing in the mail and they said, hey, we noticed that you didn't return it. How about this? Just bring it back. We won't charge you. And then, start renting movies again.
That's really nice.
That was genius.
Yeah, that was genius. Didn't we do a show once, Ed, man, a long time ago, maybe in the early days of the podcast, maybe, high single digits or low teens, about the last ever Blockbuster here in the United States. Well,
Yes,
in the
we
world.
did. Yeah.
I believe it's in Bend,
still in
Bend,
existence, right?
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only one left, and it's still doing its thing. I actually follow the last Blockbuster Twitter handle. Very, very funny. If you're a Twitter person, definitely go on there and check that out. But yeah, listen, I get it. There's a lot of these movies that I haven't seen yet that I've been trying to go. But I mean, you said Walk in the Clouds?
Walk With Me.
I thought it was Walk in the Clouds. Can we get some confirmation, Rebecca? You know
Sure.
that Mandy Moore romantic movie where she's dying?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that
She's
Walk in
dying?
the Clouds?
Yeah. Yeah, she ends up dying.
Why was she
at the end.
dying?
Spoiler alert.
She dies? I don't want to see that movie.
Well, Ed, not every movie has a happy ending.
I know, but it
She
said
fell in
Mandy
love.
Moore. She was
She
like
fell in love.
20 at the time or something.
Didn't Mandy Moore have a song? It's called "Sweet Like
Was that with
Candy" or
Macaulay
"Candy"?
Culkin? Who was in that?
No, Keanu Reeves is in Walk in the Clouds.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Mandy Moore.
They look the same.
Oh
but-
dear God! I'm so. Is my face red? Boy, oh boy! Break out the eggs.
Oh, who's the girl?
Who is the girl?
But Mandy
Deborah
Moore would be
Messing.
great
What?
as Ted in the reboot of Bill and
Okay,
Ted's
guys, I'm
Excellent
getting my
Adventure.
movies. I'm getting my movies mixed up. Mandy Moore does play a movie where she passes away as a young girl, and we'll get it for you next show. There's just too much going on.
The
here.
next show.
That was a walk to remember.
Oh, I knew it had walk in it. It was not Walk with Me. It was not Walk in the Clouds.
I did
It was
not
a Walk to
remember a Walk to Remember.
How could I forget? It's in the name. I have to remember that walk, and I did not.
And then Walk the Line is.
Oh, that's right, the Johnny Cash. Yeah. Dude, I think we covered every walk movie. There was a TV show.
Maybe it's Stand By Me. I
That
was
probably
thinking of
won
Walk
some
with Me.
Emmys. It was called Walk with Yan. It was on like PBS where he would cook Chinese dishes. And
Yan
he wore an
can cook,
apron all the
Terry.
time.
They think
that
of
said,
Yan can cook.
Yeah, walk with Yan. Walk. It said walk on the wild side, but W-O-K.
Walk with me.
Yeah.
That's
That'd
a
be a great
great show name, though.
What?
Yin Can Cook. What a great name.
He was funny.
Yeah, he was
He's
funny.
funnier than we are
He
right
wa-
now.
Oh, absolutely. We're treading water here.
I'm going to see what he's up to.
Yan, I think he's
Don't
dead.
tell us Yan has died as well.
Oh, no.
I think he died,
Oh,
and he was in a
God.
movie, Walk with Yan. Oh, you just
Yeah,
said
I
that.
did.
Damn it. It came back
But
around
he
to
wore
the
the
same
aprons and they
original
all
joke.
had a walk. Yeah, all had a walk-related joke on it. You got him? Is he still doing it or no?
I don't know. I'm scared to look.
I'm
man,
scared to look.
I am too.
Sometimes, you look at an old celebrity you like, and you're like, man, I hope they're still
Damn,
around.
I know. That's awful. Well, anyways,
At least Mandy Moore is actually still alive.
speaking of celebrities who went before their time, we were all Heath Ledger fans, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Heath Ledger was great.
I was a fan of the one movie I saw him in, the Batman
Well,
movie.
his ex, Michelle Williams, took down Outstanding Lead Actress this Sunday night in a limited series of movie for her turn as Gwen Verdon on FX's Fosse and Verdon. Yeah. Pretty. She's always good in everything I've ever seen her in. She is a very, very good actor.
She taught that dude everything he knew.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, it worked while it worked. On the supporting actor and actress side, Ben Stiller and Bob Newhart actually introduced this in kind of a funny sketch.
Bob Newhart is still alive?
He's 90, but he's
one of
still
the ones I'm
alive.
afraid to look
Yeah,
up.
he's alive still because
Rebecca, do you know who Bob Newhart is?
Yeah, sure.
He's this dude.
he had his own show called The Bob Newhart Show.
I used to, on the bus, before the Bob Newhart show, on the bus at
Rebecca's
school,
got breaking
I would
news.
listen to my dad's old
too.
comedy records of Bob Newhart, and I would do Bob Newhart bits.
You do bits? Yeah.
And Bill Cosby bits on the school bus
That's
for
awesome.
the kids.
1 out of 2 ain't bad,
It
Ed,
was
man.
a hit there. Bill Cosby was funny
He
before
was.
he
He was very funny.
Yeah.
got discovered.
Before he got discovered, yeah. So what was the news, Rebecca?
Just Walk with Yan is Stephen Yan, still alive.
Whoa.
And Yan Can Cook is Martin Yan,
See?
still alive.
2 different guys. We were thinking of 2 different shows. One movie, one show. They're both still alive, though. That's very good to hear.
That is
great.
good
That put us in
news.
some better spirits here. It's almost like I never had those 4 pieces of pizza.
Yeah, dude. And I didn't tell nobody, but I farted out all the bean
Oh,
stuff.
perfect. That's why he turned the air
Feeling
back
a lot
on.
better now.
So anyways, this little skit that they did at the beginning, Ben Stiller was introducing some of the titans of comedy, and they were wax figures. So at first he said, George Burns, and he had a George Burns wax figure.
Yeah.
Then he walked over to Lucille Ball, and it was a wax figure.
Yeah.
Then he walked over and said Bob Newhart, and Bob Newhart was on the thing like he was a wax figure. And then, of course, he starts blinking and talking, and the crowd goes wild. So they were introducing supporting actor in a comedy, and that went to Tony Shalhoub. He's still doing it. He got it for Abe Weissman in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. He won a couple Emmys in his role as Monk as well back in the day, where he played that OCD detective.
Yeah,
there.
that was a good show.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We had mentioned earlier Peter Dinklage won for his role in Game of Thrones, and Ben Whishaw won for his role in A Very English Scandal. It was about the Jeremy Thorpe political and sex scandal over there.
Oh, yeah, that
in
was
in the
huge.
70s. Yeah. So on the ladies' side, Alex Borstein. She won for Susie Meyerson in The Marvelous Miss Maisel as well. She's known for her roles on Mad TV. She also voices Meg on Family Guy. So her and Seth, what's his name there? The creator of Family Guy. Yeah, there you go. Seth MacFarlane. They shared a nice moment because Alex Borstein won and immediately took a shot from a little, we call them nips up north, but they're the little tiny alcohol bottles.
And we call something else nips down here.
That was pretty funny.
No, I always confuse
Was that clip of Ivanka Trump I keep seeing circulating around today?
Is there one? Because I'll look that up.
You look it
Seth
up.
Rogen, Seth MacFarlane.
Yes.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
I mix them all
Three
up
different
all the time,
guys.
constantly.
Seth Rogen is the stoner. He's got the big beard. He plays all those, he's got Pineapple Express knocked up super bad. Seth MacFarlane almost died in 9/11. He missed his flight because he overslept. He was hungover. And he does Family Guy. And he does the Orville on Fox now. Seth Green
I know they don't
The
look.
son
He was
in
in
Austin Powers, Dr.
Yeah,
Evil's
yeah,
son.
exactly.
He's a werewolf in Buffy.
Oh, yep.
Julia Garner, she won for Best Actress in a Drama for playing Ruth Langmore in Ozark, which is a
Yes.
great role,
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
One of my favorite moments from the Emmys, I did actually see this. We've talked about this, Ed, man. I'm a huge Jason Bateman fan.
Yeah.
Well, when he won
Rebecca, were you laughing about that?
No.
Okay, I must have just imagined a little chuckle to my right here.
No, I love that show.
I'm a
It's
huge
amazing.
Jason Bateman
amazing.
fan. I could swear I heard
well,
it go.
well, he won Best Director for Ozark, and his reaction was so priceless. And everybody around him, the cast, was just going nuts for him, and he had this stunned look on his face, like, "Holy shit, how did that happen?" So I loved that, and I was happy for him. Patricia Arquette also won for her performance of Dee Dee Blanchard in The Act on Hulu. Very, very good show. That was, what that was about, Ed, man? She played the mom of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And this was based on a true story.
Is that the haunted lady?
No, she fabricated all these illnesses for her daughter so that they could raise all this money.
Right.
And she made her really sick. Was
Oh,
feeding
yeah.
her through a
Oh, this
tube
was
and
a
stuff.
terrible story.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And so Gypsy Rose and her new boyfriend she met online ended up killing her mom in real life, this Dee Dee Blanchard, for putting through all that nonsense.
Right.
So that was a mini series on Hulu too. I think there were 8 or 10 episodes on that, which was
Oh yeah, there was a
very
big
good.
thing about whether or not she should be in trouble for it, right?
Yeah, correct. Because she was, mentally, she was, probably like the mentality of a, 12 or 13-year-old maybe, and she was like almost 20 or 20. I don't know when it happened, like young 20s. So, but those were the winners on the night, the big winners. And Edman, you're looking up that Jason Bateman clip as we talk.
Yeah, I'm all seeing.
Yeah, maybe I can't really post the clip because it's more of a reaction shot than it is a. This might be the best shot of it, I probably would guess. I'm not quite sure. I just love the look that he just kind of was just like, wait, really?
That's his go-to.
Yeah. Very funny. Speaking of, and I know we switched between TV and movie before.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys see last year's Game Night with Jason Bateman as the movie?
No.
Rachel McAdams and him. Oh, it's great. There's going to be a sequel to it. If you guys are in the market for a funny movie and you can find that one, check it out. It's really, really good. Okay.
Although I usually do try to see anything with Jason Bateman.
Are you making fun of me?
No.
You better not be. I
mean, I am being sarcastic, but not to you specifically.
Hey, listen, I don't care. That guy can act. He can do it all. Drama, comedy. He writes. He directs. He's a quadruple
Rebecca, is there
threat.
anyone that you're a fan of that sort of
Marginal,
isn't
on the
fringe?
fringe?
Yeah, that is not really
Besides Martin Yan.
the best.
Well, that's a given. Everybody is a fan of Yan.
We forgot about him.
Walk with Yan. Walk this way.
No, different Yan.
Oh, Stephen Yan.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Martin Yan is Yan.
You know who I like that nobody really cares that much about? Is Ukulele Ike.
Man, stop. What is wrong with you? You are going to chase away.
We all have our favorites.
Whatever young listeners we have are going to be out. You want to do an Abbott and Costello bit, Laurel and Hardy. You want Ukulele Ike to make a comeback. I mean, what is wrong with you? Well, we are going to talk about the In Memoriam segment that we just had, Halsey sang time after time the famous Cyndi Lauper song as they went down the list. We've lost a lot of heavyweights this year.
Oh, jeez. I hate these.
I know.
dead
It's kind of
people
sad,
lists. All right,
right?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's just do it. Let's get it out of the way. See what we remember these guys and gals for. John Singleton, director, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, Four Brothers. Very, very influential
and very
director.
young.
He was only in his, high 40s, low 50s?
Do you have cause of death for these people? Because I'm interested.
Edman, I do not. I'll have to have Rebecca will be
We'll
hot
do that on
the
another
phone.
show.
We also lost Doris Day this year.
Now that's a loss.
Roy Clark, Country Hall of Famer in 2009. Hey, I remember him hosting Hee Haw. That's where I remember him from, the famous country comedy show.
Oh, God, that show was on forever.
It was on forever. He won a few Emmys for that, I'm sure, because that was a big, big show. Edman, you good? Still good?
Yep.
Okay. Tim Conway. Edman, you remember him.
Wait, I thought Tim Conway was already dead.
He died
I
this
could
year.
have met him this whole freaking time.
Dorf on Golf.
Tim
Carol
Conway
Burnett
is
show.
a comedy genius.
Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob for like 15 years.
He
voiced
was?
that. Yes.
I'm so upset.
Yeah. He just passed away, I believe, in May or June.
Maybe he had
May.
lost his
Yeah.
show and I just thought he died or
Yep.
something. Oh, man, I'm so upset.
Here's another one that's very upsetting. Bob Einstein, better known to most people as Super Dave Osborne.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
another huge
Yeah.
comedy loss.
I loved him in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He played Marty Funkhauser, and he just always had that great comic delivery.
Yes,
Watched a couple
yes.
episodes of him on Jerry Seinfeld's show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and he was very, very funny.
Probably the best deadpan.
Oh
delivery.
God, no doubt. I mean, he would make a joke, and it would just that face would never change. And I don't know how the actors in scenes with him could keep their cool.
Well, Letterman and Harrison Ford are good at it too.
Yeah, and Letterman actually was a big Super Dave fan. Super Dave made a lot of
that's how I
appearances
knew
on
about
Letterman.
that dude from the Letterman show.
Yep. We had mentioned this on a show earlier this year. Penny Marshall, we lost her this year. We did a segment on her, remember?
Laverne Shirley. Yeah, that's right, we did.
Luke Perry passed this year, 90210 fame.
Luke Perry's dead?
Riverdale.
Stroke.
And he actually...
we did a show on that too, didn't we?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he did have about a 5-minute scene, and that's when I mentioned thinking about that I just saw that movie. Again, great movie if you guys are looking for... Again, it's almost 3 hours long, so
Yeah.
you got to really settle in for it. And it's not a classic Tarantino movie. Everyone expects a like typical Tarantino kind of movie. It's not that. I don't even know how to describe it, but the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so are more of what you would expect in a Tarantino film. But it's just, the acting is just out of this world. So this just happened recently. Valerie Harper, Mary Tyler Moore's show in Rhoda. She just passed maybe within the last
And
month.
Valerie, right?
Yeah, clearly. Peter Fonda. We did a show on Stan Lee earlier in the year, of
Peter
course.
Fonda died?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yep.
goodness.
Albert Finney, who was a great, great actor. Some of his older movies he won Oscars for: Tom Jones and Murder on the Orient Express. I know him best from Big Fish. I thought he was great as the dad in Big Fish, the Tim Burton movie there. Aaron Brockovich, he actually was nominated for some awards on that as well. The Bourne Identity movies, he's in almost all of those as well. He had a good role in that. Rip Torn passed away. Larry Sanders Show for those HBO fans, and also Carol Channing died. So there,
Carol Channing just died?
Yeah, I just scratched the surface on
I thought
those.
she was gone a long time. too.
She was, I think, like late 80s.
Who would think that Carol Channing, Doris Day,
Yeah, right.
would die the same year as Luke Perry?
I know. It's crazy, right?
You just never know.
And I'm trying to think if there's anybody. No, I don't believe. I think John Singleton and Luke Perry by far the youngest people on that list. I mean, which it's horrible to say, but thankfully that's the youngest. A lot of times we'll lose, teens or 20s or 30s or people even younger. That's still way too young. I mean, obviously.
Is it sadder to you when an old dude dies or a young dude dies?
Oh, come on. I mean, I don't think it's a contest. To me, it's sadder when the young dude.
To me, it's sadder when the old dude dies because he knows more.
But the young dude had everything in front of it, possibly.
But they had
Maybe
less
he
to
nothing.
lose.
I guess so. But I think.
They only had potential.
Yeah, I
The older
guess.
guy had actuality.
What do you think, Rebecca?
That's hard.
They're
That's
both pretty
tough.
sad, but I mean.
When I was a
I-
little kid
yeah.
and when we watched a Superman movie, right? And my grandfather's there in the theater, and he says, Okay, and he says, I see they throw the Superman as a baby out into space. I said, why didn't they just go with him? Even then, I was like criticizing movies. I was like, they couldn't build a bigger spaceship. Right?
Nobody wanted to watch movies with Ed anymore.
And then, I said, why didn't they go with him? 'Cause, I mean, I'm like a little baby kid.
Right.
And then he explains that, well, they sent him off because he is younger, has more life ahead of him. And I didn't say anything to my grandfather because I didn't want to contradict this wise man.
I gotcha.
But I thought, man, that's pretty stupid. I wouldn't have done that, right? Not man. 5 anyway.
Yeah, I hear you.
Really, I would have gone.
So let's
because they were scientists, they could save the whole world.
I don't want to bum the audience out too much. We won't spend too much time. But what was a celebrity death or two that really rocked you? That really kind of
Tim Conway? I'm still reeling.
No. I mean, no. It doesn't have to be on this list. Just in general, in your life, what was a celebrity death that really was a gut punch to you?
I don't really know any of these dudes. I guess. I mean, I felt bad when Johnny Carson died because I always thought maybe someday I'd be on his show.
I gotcha.
So that was one. I don't know if it rocked me, though.
Yeah.
Celebrity death that rocked me. Even when I was little, I was like, I knew people died and stuff.
So the Michael Jackson death didn't really rock you?
No.
You didn't really care?
I was surprised. But
Amy Winehouse kind of got me, I think. I was really bummed out about that one for a while.
I figured she'd go.
We did too, but I mean, that talent is just such
yeah, but when you're rocking hard drugs left and right.
It was her boyfriend's fault. It's those stupid men every time. Ladies, just leave us alone. We don't know what we're doing. Do we? Rebecca, is that true?
I thought it was the drugs.
Yeah, it was. That her boyfriend was feeding her.
Are you claiming she was not independent enough to do her own drugs? And
no one else too. I'm thinking of
then?
another actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman. That one, again, another drug-related death, but I was kind of bummed about that. Because everything I ever watched him in, I really enjoyed.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great.
I mean, I guess there's probably others if I said.
You know who bummed me out, as you say? That's a great phrase, by the way. Is Owen Hart?
Yes.
Because listen, this guy he's like a young guy, really talented, and he falls.
Yeah.
From the top of the damn stadium down onto the rope.
And probably people watching it thought it was part of the show.
Yeah, they did. And so so that's horrific.
Yep.
And then the next day, everyone's like making fun of him because he was a wrestler, which was so weird to me because I was like, anytime anyone else dies,
right? I think when you take someone in a movie like Brandon Crow, and he died doing Brandon Crow, whoever played the Crow there,
Lee.
Right? Thank you. He died during the filming of that. There were other people who died during filming movies, and it was a tragic, almost haunted event. You know,
and then this guy actually
James Dean,
dies
I think, did the same thing
in front of people live.
I know. Yeah.
And they're like all making jokes and stuff
Pretty
like
crazy.
that. Now, I personally I think that there's nothing out of bounds of humor.
Right. I get it.
But it was just weird to me because it was so seemed so unfair that everybody else got, But you know what was also very funny? Back then I had a show, and on the I came right after a wrestling radio show.
I was going to say, I thought you may have told me the story off air at some point, but continue.
And what was funny about that was that on that show, we were very merciless, and like anybody that died, I'd play the what was the song that they reused from Princess Diana?
Candle in the Wind.
Candle in the Wind.
Yeah.
So we do a little Candle in the Wind for every time a celebrity would die, right? Because the joke was that this guy is just going to use this the same song over and over and over again. And I mean, we were very young, very admittedly disrespectful.
Right.
But when Owen Hart died, because we all liked wrestling,
right,
we were all very saddened by that. So I guess that would be a death that
so were
that would be the closest
trying to call in and get you guys to give him shit?
Oh, no. Everybody was mad at the rest of the press that was making fun of his death.
Gotcha.
But I thought that was also very funny because we would make fun of everybody else.
Right. Yeah, that is true. So, Edman, what I'm going to have you do for this last segment here, I'm going to tell you just a few little facts about the Emmy statuette
itself.
I'm going to have you pull up a little speed round game time for us, and I think I'm going to have me and Rebecca play, and you'll actually read it off today, okay?
Yeah, that'd be
So
great.
I want you to look up the Wikipedia page, list of Primetime Emmy Award winners, okay? List of Primetime Emmy Award winners on Wikipedia. It's going to have every winner from the 40s all the way through till Sunday night. But I'm going to have you in a speed round, maybe like 45 seconds a minute, just name off an actor or actress's name, and we will have to tell you what they won an Emmy for.
Okay,
and you
sounds
can go.
great.
You can tell us the year, and then the actor or actress's name. We can tell you what role they won for. But as you look and get yourself
So
geared
let's
up
do
for that,
a trial.
no, you don't. You can just get yourself set because I'm going to give a few little facts about the Emmy
All right,
statue.
so what's
itself.
going to happen is I'm going to call out the name
Yes.
of the winner.
Yes. Give us
And-
the year.
And the winner is for, just any Emmy Award winner. Okay.
Yeah.
Give you the
And
year,
you'll-
the actor's
I'd like
name.
to start in
What did they
probably
win
the
for?
70s, maybe.
No, we're
like,
starting in 1949.
Oh, cripes. Well, let me give these facts real quick before we play this game time. The statuette is 6 pounds, 12 and a half ounces. It's made of copper, nickel, silver, and gold. Stands about 15 and a half inches tall. And it came to be when a TV engineer, his name was Louis McManus, he modeled it after his wife in 1948. It was originally called the Emmy, IMMY, which was a term used for the image orthicon tube used in early cameras. Well, they wanted to call it the Ike, actually, because that was also a nickname for a television iconoscope tube. But of course, they wanted something unique because at the time, Dwight D. Eisenhower was a war hero and he was going to go on to be president.
So they weren't naming it after Ukulele Ike.
No, they were not. Although
what
that
I
would have
assumed.
been a great choice, a fantastic choice from what I hear. So anyways, they kind of feminized that Emmy a year later to make it Emmy, and that's how it stood since 1949 as an Emmy. But it was actually named for this image orthicon tube, or this television iconoscope tube,
Right.
and that's what they called it. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So, Edman, do we have a timer in here of any sort? Actually, you have your phone out. Can you clock up the timer? See how many of these babies Rebecca and I can get in a minute.
I'm
going to
going to
say
be terrible. Are we competing against
no,
each
we're
other?
playing together.
Only,
playing
man, we should
together.
probably
I'm
go a little
terrible.
longer for jokes.
You think so?
Yeah.
A minute and a
Maybe
half?
Let's do 2 minutes.
A minute and a half for each question?
No, for the
No,
whole
for the
thing.
whole-
It's a rapid
okay,
fire.
I'm
He's just
sorry.
going to tell
It's
us
very
here.
fast.
A minute and a half. A minute and a half's good. A minute and a half. So we're going to put on the clock. Let's make a prediction here. How many do you think we can get together, Rebecca?
You're going to get many.
Okay.
I'm going to get
You're going to get none? Okay, so I'm
I'll
on my
be
own.
terrible at this.
No, you'll be fine.
I
Did you
don't
just
know- I
read
don't
the
know
screen
near-
there, Tara?
I'm not. I can't. How can I look at the screen?
You just
got it all
did.
over.
When you pointed at what you're not looking at, you're doing it now.
You're on the 40s. We're not answering those. I said start in the
Hang
70s.
on.
or
I was going to
60s.
start with another death that actually kind of got
Okay.
me here.
Okay, well, let us know when you're going to start so we can set the timer.
Well, this is a trial here. Okay, so
Oh,
this
is only a trial.
This is
Okay.
a lead comedy actor. Is Red Skelton
Yeah.
Oh,
in
Red,
1952. What did he win
yeah,
for?
Red Skelton. I wouldn't. I know the name, but I don't know what he was on.
He was an actual clown.
Bozo the Clown.
No, no, he wasn't a dress-up clown. He was a professional
Oh, okay.
comedy clown.
All right. What was the name of it?
The Red Skelton Show. I was hoping you would get that one.
Damn.
My
Okay.
math teacher used to make us watch that show.
Really? The
Yeah,
Red
if he was
Skelton.
grading tests, we'd have to watch it.
Oh wow.
You're kidding
No,
me.
I was
Did
in
you
Why would
enjoy
he
it?
do that?
sixth grade.
Did you like it?
I mean, it was better than learning math,
Red
but
Skelton's humor was not
For
really
young kids.
well, we were in the sixth grade, so what, we're 11?
You know,
I mean,
what?
it was for young kids, but young kids way back in the day,
Right, like
when
who
they
were
didn't have
working
anything
and
else to do.
driving horse
Alright.
and carriages and
Right.
All right, so let's do this. I think we're going to do better than you think we're going to do. I think we're going to get in the teens, maybe even the 20s. We'll see. We'll see.
okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with something that you might actually get here. Oh, Phil Silvers. He was really
Now
good.
you've got to be pretty quick here because the timer's going to be going. We're not
Well,
going to
don't
stop the
start it
timer.
yet, damn
We're
it.
not. We're not. I just want you to be set up here with your, layout on the screen here.
Drama variety. Now, how will I know which one to read off of? Does it matter with
I would just go with these four things. You know, you got
lead comedy actor,
and drama,
lead drama actor,
So it's comedy,
and
drama,
then
comedy,
actress.
drama.
Okay, we got it.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
Here we
Let's
go.
start with this one.
Sure.
Jack Benny in 1959.
Benny. The Jack Benny Show.
Yeah,
right.
how'd you get it?
Ew.
All right, let's go with this is 1984. John Ritter.
We talked about this
Oh,
last week.
Three's Company.
Yay!
Yes.
Let's go back a little bit. 1982. Alan Alda.
MASH.
MASH.
Yes.
Yes.
Judd Hirsch. 1983.
Judd Hirsch. What was he in?
83.
Judd Hirsch. I don't think I'm going to get this
I'm
one.
not going to get this.
Taxi.
Oh, yeah, Taxi.
Oh, man,
damn.
I'm so disappointed in you
Damn.
guys. Michael J. Fox, 1986, 7, 8.
Family
Family
Ties.
Ties.
Of course,
Yeah.
Family Ties. Let's get some ladies up here. Let's
Yeah.
go with Candace Bergman, 1990.
That'd be Murphy Brown.
That is correct. Although
was a
she
good
did win
show.
in 89 for Cheers. That's impressive.
Wow, she did.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's go with Craig T. Nelson, 1992.
Coach?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Was it Coach?
Yeah, that was a great
All right.
show.
Let's do John Lithgow, 1997.
Night Court?
No.
Too early.
30 Rock from the Sun?
Third
Third
from
Rock.
the Sun.
That's
Third
what
Rock,
I mean.
Yeah, good.
This one's easy.
Except
This is
my
a
rocks.
gimme here. 1998, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, Frasier.
Frasier.
Yes. This one is a good one. Though if you lived in Jacksonville, you didn't see it. 1999, Dennis Franz.
NYPD Blue.
Yes.
One more.
Helen Hunt, 97.
Mad About You.
Yay.
That's it. We're done. Well, that was a minute and a half. We got 10. We did get
That is
into
pretty
10.
darn
We
good.
had a slow reader, though.
I gave you extra
You
time.
did good. You did.
in
If
order
we'd
to
done
read
2 minutes,
slow.
we would have been able to do. You want to give us a few more? We won't put the timer on.
No, because originally you said 1 minute.
Yeah,
I gave you
know.
30 seconds
I didn't know it would be. I thought it would be
for-
rapid fire. I didn't know it was going to be.
This
You
is
did all right.
Okay, let's put on 1 more minute. We're gonna do it again.
1 more minute.
This could be super rapid
Okay,
fire.
we're gonna
I don't
add
want to
to
hear
it.
no
It's gonna
shit
sound like an
after
You
this
didn't
one.
get any shit.
Here we go.
We're ready.
2004, James Spader.
Blacklist.
Practice, you fool. 2007, also James Spader.
Blacklist.
Boston Legal. 2011, Melissa McCarthy.
Oh,
Mike and Molly.
yeah. Mike and Molly.
Yes, that is correct. 2013, Jim Parsons.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you got it. 2014, Bryan Cranston.
Breaking Bad.
Yes. 2015, John Hamm.
Mad
Mad
Men.
Men.
Okay, 2017, Donald Glover.
Atlanta.
Yeah, nice. Elizabeth Moss, same year.
Mad Men.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale,
And
damn
then
it.
finally, Bill Hader in 2018.
Yeah, Barry. We
Barry.
just
All right.
we got 6 more. All right.
So what's that?
16. That's pretty
Okay.
damn good. That's not bad. That would have that is a fun little thing. If you want to see any Emmy winner, you just go to that Wikipedia page, Primetime Emmy Award winners, and it has them all listed from 1949 on.
They've already got it updated.
Now, I'm not seeing Yan Can Cook on here. I'm a little disappointed.
Where did Stephen Yan fall? Where did
Stephen Yan is Walk the Line.
Where did a Walk in the Clouds fall? Oh, we're doing Oscar. Man, that'll be for a later episode. Guys, anything else to add to this Emmy
I
extravaganza?
think we beat this puppy to death.
Man, I think this was pretty nice. I think we covered just about as much of this as we can. Ed, man, you're going to try to edit some of those
I'll
YouTube
put in a
clips
couple of
in
clips.
there.
You know, I am a little disappointed that we didn't really get to any heavy-duty rumors. Did anything scandalous happen this
That's
year?
the thing. I couldn't find anything that went down. That, like in the Oscars, there were some things that people were talking about. This one, really? I mean, the speeches were. We played the one speech there from the young man that won for his role in that Central Park 5 little mini.
This is why you need a host to drum up some Ermstrand drug.
I guess they had
say that.
Thomas Lennon. He's a comedian. You might know him from. I think he was in Reno 911. He does a lot of those Comedy Central shows. He did the new Odd Couple too. I think he was in. But they had him as kind of a narrator.
Yeah.
For when the winners would go up on stage saying, "Oh, this is so and so's first nomination and first win. He does this and this." Tried to make it funny, but a lot of the jokes didn't really land.
Yeah.
Again, that Ben Stiller, Bob Newhart gag was pretty good. There was one with Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel talking about how it was lame that there was no host and then they were going to be out of work and things like that. But there really wasn't anything scandalous or overly dramatic. I think they kept it probably what they wanted to keep it as, kind of just a boring night that nobody would watch.
Man, if anybody was born to play the role of a wax dummy, It would be Bob Newhart. wouldn't it?
Although and I almost said when I was researching the show, I almost said, because I told you I read his biography, I almost said Bob Hope, and that would have been something if they had Bob Hope reanimated up there. Bob Hope was another great comic from that era, but Bob Newhart is 90 years old. Speaking of age, one last
Living legend.
Quick note: the oldest Emmy ever won was our good friend Betty White. She won twice actually. She won when she was like 90, and then she won again for like SNL when she was like 92.
And she's still around?
She's still around.
All right,
yeah.
well, there's potential for more.
She's still around. I am looking forward now to seeing Miss Waller-Bridge host that SNL episode in a week or two. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And
maybe Betty White can get on the Fleabag show there.
I don't see why not. She'd be great. She loves sex.
Yeah.
She'd be great on it.
She would be great.
She'd be great. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Well, guys, I didn't mind seeing either of you two today
Hey, how
either.
great was it to have
It was
Rebecca back
amazing, as
here?
always. Rebecca, we thank you for being in the studio.
Yeah,
Thought
thank
you
you
were
for
going to give her
having
the
me.
applause on the way out, Ed, but I guess not.
No, we can do that. I'm going to lower it a little bit, though.
Give me the fart button.
We don't have a fart button up there, thank
I'll
God.
get you one.
But anyways, guys,
Those are all generated in-house.
that's going to do it for
I was gonna
another
say.
special edition. Now, the next one we have Rebecca back for, guaranteed 100%, no excuses. We are going to have the lady from Pie Town on, so you can get in on that conversation.
Wow.
Yes.
One of the funniest moments on the news.
Yes.
Oh man, that is going to be
was
so
great.
great. I've been looking forward to that interview since July, so I can't wait till we finally do that within the next month or two for everyone.
Well, give them the info, how to contact us once more, and then we'll play them out to the gentle sounds of Ukulele Ike.
Oh man, if you have a Ukulele Ike clip, that'll be great. But anyways, News Freaks, thanks again for joining us for another special edition. We will be back again in a day or two with a regular edition show for you. You're getting double your money. You're getting what? What do they call that?
2 for 1.
Yeah, 2 for 1. There we go. You're getting a 2 for 1 this week, guys.
I don't know what
the News Freaks Supermarket coming at you. No coupon needed. All right, so you can text us, interact with the show, 904-300-2475. Also hit us up on Twitter at NewsFreaksPod, Facebook, The News Freaks, and our website, of course, thenewsfreaks.com. You can send us mail at The News Freaks. Covered it?
Yeah, let's see if she gets it this time.
Okay. We're going to sign off. We're going to see if we can get in sync here. For the Ed Man, I'm Terry.
I'm Rebecca.
See ya!
He's a bad, bad man. Now, Pappy was a bad man, too, and I'm his favorite son. I'm a one-man wrecking crew, got 50 notches on my gun. I'm Musical Ike the Bandit, Sagebrush Dapper Dan. The sheriff made a solemn vow he'd look me up and pick a row. And brother, we got a brand new sheriff now. I'm a bad, bad man.